Hey guys, so this is definitely a bit outside my usual realm. However, I feel like this is the most effective way for me to share this information to the widest amount of people. Me and my fiance have been attending meetings for PSL and CERC in order to try and get organized and help the current ongoing attack on immigrant communities in the country. Unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish or any other relevant language, so this video will be in English. However, if you speak Spanish, Arabic, or Mandarin, or any other native language of communities being targeted, please reach out to me and I'd love to work with you to add translations to this video. You're also welcome to repost this video with subtitles or voiceovers in other languages if that's more doable. Just please inform me, as YouTube lets me know when my content is reposted and I want to be sure I approve it to stay up. Various local organizations for different parts of the country will be linked below, so if you check the description, there'll be resources for what you can do in your area. Let's just get into the video. I want to make a few things extremely clear before getting into what you should specifically do if you encounter ICE. 1. This video is not advice for evading lawful arrest or detention. Immigrants, documented or not, have the same rights under the Constitution as born citizens. ICE does not want you to know that you have these rights because not only can they prevent unlawful detention, but they can be used in immigration court. 2. Unfortunately, ICE is not always going to respect your rights. You have the right to a lawyer. Please use it if detained. Unfortunately, courts often neglect to automatically assign public defenders in immigration cases. If you are not automatically assigned a public defender, please insist that you won't talk until your Sixth Amendment right to a lawyer is met. 3. Sharing this information with your community is extremely important. That doesn't necessarily mean linking or sharing this video to people, but distributing Know Your Rights posters among your community, leaving cards with this information in places they can be easily accessed, and discussing with friends, family, and community members, even if they personally are not at risk of detention. 4. Being here legally does not mean you are safe from detention. ICE often relies on profiling and reports to attempt detention. Not having a criminal record also does not prevent this. If you are a part of a race or ethnic group being targeted, carry both state and federal identification on you and make sure that you have extra copies of federal documents at home in case they are withheld from you. I think to start off, we need to go over the main 3 amendments that define these rights. I'll also have a card both in English and Spanish in the video to screenshot and print. Reminder, these rights apply to everyone within the borders of the country, regardless of citizenship status. The 4th Amendment gives you protection from unreasonable searches and seizures. This means both police officers and ICE agents are not allowed to search your private property, including your home, person, vehicle, owned business, etc., without either 1. A signed warrant by a judge, I'll be expanding on this later, or 2. Your consent. Unfortunately, what can be considered consent is often abused, and we'll be addressing this in a moment as well. Your 5th Amendment rights are what you think of in cop shows. You have a right to remain silent. This means you do not have to speak to an officer, including an ICE agent. Your 6th Amendment rights include 2 notable things: your right to legal representation and your right to be informed of the crime you are being detained for. This does not just include if you have an attorney on retainer or the ability to pay for one. If you do not have an existing lawyer, you have the right to a public defender. If an ICE agent comes to your house, do not open the door. Ask them to slide their warrant under the door. If this is not possible with the door you have, ask them to hold it up to a window and take a photo if possible, or slip it through a mail slot. Do not, under any circumstances, open the door before being shown this. Not all warrants are valid for them to enter your home. If you see text stating it is an administrative warrant, tell them they need a warrant signed by a judge. An administrative warrant is not signed by a judge and does not grant them legal access to your private property. It is signed by another member of their agency, not the court. The warrant should be either an arrest or a search warrant. Should be signed by a judge in your area and have the correct name, date of birth, and/or address. If there are multiple people in your home, make sure that they have multiple warrants for each individual person in the home if anyone else is at risk of deportation or detention. If the warrant has an incorrect name, address, or date of birth, inform them that you are not required to allow them access and you are exercising your 4th Amendment right to not be subjected to unreasonable search. Do not give any indication of allowing them into your home without first seeing this information and validating that it is correct. Opening a door, even a crack with a chain lock, has been validated in court as consent for entry. Do not speak with them beyond asking to exercise these rights. Do you have a warrant? If not, I do not consent to a search is all you should say. If you are detained, be it in public or in the instance of having a valid warrant, do not speak to them. Stating you have the right to a lawyer and exercising your 5th Amendment rights is the only thing that should be spoken. If they continue to push, ask if you are being detained and what for. Depending on your state laws, you may be required to give name and date of birth if they have a genuine arrest warrant. However, this is only applicable to police, not ICE. You are not required to share this or any information with an ICE agent, and you are only required to share it with police if they have a valid arrest warrant and tell you what it is for. And again, the police part depends on state laws, so look into your own personal state laws. Do not share any information with ICE, period, and do not share any information, period, until you are provided with an attorney. If you are ultimately detained, inform your attorney that you expressed and are using these rights. If those rights were violated or ignored by ICE or the police, please include that information. Again, only share this with your attorney. ICE is currently relying on people not knowing they have these rights. There are hundreds of detentions and deportations, if not more, that could be avoided by people being aware they have these rights and using them.
Sanctuary cities are making it very difficult to arrest the criminals. For instance, Chicago, very well educated. They've been educated how to defy ICE, how to hide from ICE. And I've seen many pamphlets from many NGOs. Here's how you escape ICE from arresting you. Here's what you need to do. They call it Know Your Rights. I call it How to Escape Arrest. There's a warrant for your arrest, and they tell you how to hide from ICE. No, don't open your door. Don't answer questions. Okay, you can call it Know Your Rights all you want, but there's an order for their removal. They've been ordered removed by a federal judge after due process at great taxpayer expense. They need to go. But if we got to play that cat and mouse game, that's what we're going to do till every one of them gone.
These rights apply to anyone currently in the country, citizens, visa holders, or undocumented. Anyone who tells you these rights do not apply to you is lying to you. This information is at its most useful when spread in person through your local community. I'll have links to flyers and cards in the description, and if you have the ability, I encourage you to print them and place them around your community. If you do not have access to a printer, many libraries offer free or extremely cheap printer use. Bathrooms, bus stops, street signs, telephone poles, leaving cards at restaurants or businesses, all are extremely useful. Share them with people you trust and encourage them to do the same and share them. That's all I've got today. Sorry this was a short video, but I felt it was very important. Thank you guys for watching, and again, please share this information locally. That is the most important part of this. Thank you for watching. Ha det.
The children think too much. They've hardly a fear of God. Always asking questions they should only wish away.